Welcome to Celestial Insights, a weekly podcast that brings the stars down to earth. I'm your host, astrologer, coach, and intuitive Celeste Brooks. My purpose is to provide practical, unique, and insightful guidance to help you navigate the energies of the week like a boss. Hello, this is Celeste of Astrology by Celeste, and on this episode, I will discuss the astrology for the week of May 12th, 2024. Just a reminder that I am a faculty member for the Organization of Professional Astrology's 2024 Retreat in Park City, Utah. It will take place from October 16th through 21st. And there will be a 3-day immersion of moon mastery. So you can learn all about the moon, her cycles, phases, and more to help deepen your connection with yourself, as well as if you're a practicing astrologer with your clients. The moon rules our subconscious and our reigning needs. I would love to have you join me. So check out the link in the show notes. The early bird pricing has been extended until May 15th, so there's still time to get the lowest price available for this wonderful, wonderful retreat. It's going to be amazing. So check it out. Last week was quite busy astrologically, where we had a lot of energetic shifts. The planets of war and peace went into signs they rule. Venus moved into Taurus, the earthy sign where she loves to be, but she went in squaring intense Pluto, and Mars went into fiery Aries and started a sextile with Pluto. So the planets of war and peace were both talking to Pluto. Pluto unearths things. Pluto rules power dynamics. It's intense. It's the shadow energies. It unearths things. It's volcanic in nature. It's also deeply healing. So I had some amazing revelations about relationships. Venus rules relationships and my own actions that came to my conscious attention that were really, really healing with these transits. We saw in the collective Drake and Kendrick Lamar. These are two rappers. I don't follow rap very well, but they have been in this rap battle and making accusations or trying to unearth secrets, Pluto, about Venus topics, about both of them in relationship to others, and Mars and Aries. This battle came to a head with the balsamic moon in Pisces, and Pisces rules music. So that was something very interesting that happened. But on the following Monday, we had Mercury conjunct Chiron and Sun in Taurus sextiling Saturn in Pisces. And there were shots fired outside of Drake's house, and one of his, I believe it was one of his bodyguards, was hit by gunfire. And Aries rules violence, and Mercury, you can think about Mercury and Aries conjunct Chiron, trying to hurt someone with words, as well as holding a handgun, or the Mars and Aries trying to hurt someone as well. So that was really shocking to see. There was also unearthed a plot to assassinate Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. So Mars and Aries, some people wanted to assassinate him, but Pluto, it was exposed, and the sun shining a light on it, sun sextile Saturn, and able to stop this plot. Probably which part of it was planned during Mercury retrograde, and secrets are revealed as we continue to march. Mercury's marching back over old terrain. And these were people who were colonels in his army or his military. So they should have been allies, Venus, but square Pluto. they meant him harm. Pluto rules death. They wanted to assassinate him. So it's very fortunate that this plot came to the conscious attention of people and it has been stopped. They wanted money from Russia. Also, Neptune and Pisces is confusion, illusion, delusions. And there was all kinds of confusion about one of the hopes was that with Venus going into Taurus, a ceasefire deal with exchange for hostages could be agreed to because Venus unites. It brings people together in win-win situations. And there was news that Hamas was going to agree to certain terms that Egypt had proposed, but then Israel did not accept them and started to move into Rafah. And there were leaflets dropped on the city. Mercury conjunct Chiron in Aries. Leaflets warning the people. Leaflets, Mercury rules communication. Aries, war. And Chiron, wounds, and telling people they had to move out of part of the city in order to prevent being caught up in the upcoming ground offensive. So it's very, very concerning. I mean, these people some of them have nowhere to go or the transportation means to get there. So the humanitarian crisis continues, but there's still time for reversals and for things to change, which I'll talk about when we get to this week's energy. College campus upheaval, which is part of the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. Jupiter rules education and higher education. Uranus upheaval is spreading worldwide. And we're seeing more and more conflicts between students and the police and even other students and counter protesters. I think I talked about this last week. Graduations are being canceled, which is not surprising, or moved, or there's all sorts of things changing. And high school students in places like Boston and France are joining in because they want their schools to divest from supporting companies that are involved in helping Israel with its war effort because of the humanitarian crisis. And Macklemore is an American singer. He's a rapper. I'm not that familiar with his music, but he created a protest song called Heinz Hall. And we'll see, it looks like it really could catch fire, and it's about the protests and the situation in Gaza. And he has a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Sagittarius in his natal chart. And he has the moon, Pluto, and Saturn all conjunct in Libra. And Libra is about fairness and balance, and it rules artistic things. And he's got all of this artistic energy, trine his Sun and Mars and Mercury in Gemini. So he's a rapper like Gemini, you can think talks quickly, and that Mars energy is great for a rapper. And he has a Sun opposite Neptune. So I think last week I talked about Kristi Noem, who is a Sun conjunct Neptune, whereas he has his Sun opposite Neptune. And Neptune rules music, and he's able to create this vision for people with his music. And Heinz Hall is the name that the pro-Palestinian protesters renamed Hamilton Hall at Columbia that they overtook on April 30th, the same day as in 1968, Columbia University students overtook it. And I talked about that last week, so you can go back and see that. But it'll be interesting to see if this protest song that he has created really becomes the song. It quite likely could become maybe the song of the summer among some people. And I don't know if it was last week or the week before, about how Donald Trump, his progressed moon has entered the sign of Scorpio, and that is an intense fixed sign. It's a water sign that suggests, like, when your progressed moon is in Scorpio, you're dealing with a lot of internal emotional upheaval often. Sometimes it's when people get pregnant because, it's like Scorpio transforms and brings into the thought processes about life and death situations, about shared resources and things like that. And his progress moon is moving to square his progress Saturn in the sign of Leo on Friday the 11th. So that would have happened by the time you're listening to this. And one of the things I said, because his progressed Saturn's in his 12th house of jail and prison, places we'd rather not be, and his progressed moon is in his 3rd house of communication, that I wondered if the judge would put him in jail, thinking he probably won't. But what happened last week was the judge threatened Donald Trump with jail because of his continued violations of the gag order, where he's not supposed to talk about witnesses or the jury or anything in the trial. And he keeps doing it. So we'll see. We'll know by this time if he actually gets put into jail around the day of his progressed moon squaring his progressed Saturn. But the progressed moon moves only about a degree a month, so there's still time. This trial is expected to go on another couple of weeks. So we shall see what happens with that. The Birthdate Company makes amazing products, and I am a proud affiliate. I especially love the Birthdate book. It's a fully personalized, beautiful, and unique reading of your birth chart with over 70 pages of detailed horoscope analysis. It is such high quality. I absolutely love it. They also make amazing birth date candles. You can get it for yourself or as a gift for someone else. So check out the store and use my coupon code Celeste10 for a 10% discount. Go to bit.ly/3PW3NFM. You can find that in the link in the show notes. Enjoy. The theme of this week is extremely loud and incredibly close. And there are 3 big things I want you to think about as you navigate this week. The first is that the Sun and Uranus will meet at 23 degrees of Taurus on Monday. The Sun spotlights things. It focuses our attention in, and Uranus rules things like revolts, revolutions, scientific advances, aviation, lightning. Uranus surprises us. It's reversals. The sign of Taurus is resources, money, cows, bulls. Uranus is also about freedom and liberation. Now, on this same day, Venus in Taurus will sextile Saturn in Pisces. Saturn puts limits on things. Saturn is boundaries and controls. Saturn ends things. And Uranus can be sudden breaks. The things that come to mind, because Israel is a Libra rising, Venus rules both Libra and Taurus. There could be something that is related to Israel that comes up. And with the Sun Uranus, hopefully it's a reversal of their plan to go into Rafah, but we shall see what comes up. Venus also rules parties like celebrations. I think this suggests, there could be more graduations canceled because of the fears around Uranian upheaval on college campuses. Last week, Columbia did, in fact, cancel their main graduation, as well as USC had canceled their main graduation. These are 2 places where there's been a lot of chaos on the campuses with the Gaza Solidarity encampments. It could also, in our own lives, be you were planning to go to a party or something and you decide, I don't want to go. There could be a reversal, or someone cancels the party, or a date or relationships ending. So just keep in mind that there is the potential for a bit of disruption of relationships, but it can also be a beautiful energy because Venus loves to be in Pisces. So Venus is what we call pushing her virtue on Saturn in Pisces. This could be someone in a relationship asking for a commitment and saying, we either take these next steps or the relationship is over. It could also be about awakenings. Uranus awakens us to things. So someone may be awakened to the fact that their spending patterns needs to change. Taurus rules resources, Venus rules money, or that, this person is never going to give me what I need in a relationship or ask me to marry them or something like that, and decide to put an end to their relationship. So you may be hearing things around that. There could also be some kind of upheaval in the financial markets. We did have First Republic Bank failed a couple of weeks ago, and it's surprising that's not as big of a story as you would think, but it was a big bank that failed. So there may be some more financial news that's surprising. It could be about oil. Pisces is associated with oil. I wonder if the oil producing countries, OPEC, will get together and try to exert some pressure on Israel or the United States by raising the prices of oil, limiting the amount of oil, or something like that. The next thing I want to make you aware of is that we'll have a first quarter moon at 25 Leo. First quarter moons are the crisis of action. This is a time when people make decisions and take steps forward. You can look back to the intentions you set at the Taurus new moon, see what's working and what isn't working, and make some refining. Leo is a fixed fire sign. Its statement is, I create. Leo energy is dramatic, romantic, generous, confident, optimistic. It likes to put on a show. It's extravagant. Now, shadow energies can be being vain or overbearing or bossy or feeling like one is the center of the universe. But high road Leo can create an idea, have the vision, and execute it really well. It's got a lot of leadership energy. The moon phase family for this cycle started last August 16th of 2023, where the sun and the moon were both at 23 Leo. So look back, see what intentions you set back there. Then where are you now? What house does Leo or houses are ruled by Leo in your chart? What actions have happened in those areas? Now we have a first quarter moon where the sun is in Taurus and the moon is in Leo on Wednesday, May 15th. They're both at 25. The full moon will be 9 months from now, where the sun will be in Aquarius and the moon will be in Leo on February 12th at 24 degrees. And this cycle will close with the sun in Scorpio, the moon in Leo, both at 20 degrees. On November 11th, 2025, that will be the last quarter moon. So there may be an ongoing story in your life if your chart is activated. So the sun at 25 Taurus, the tarot correspondence is the Seven of Pentacles. This is a card of perseverance and patience and having a long-term view. Do you have the staying power to keep sustaining the goals that you've set in place? The astrology correspondence for this card is Saturn and Pisces. Saturn delays, Saturn rules earned success. The Sabian symbol is a Spaniard serenading his senorita. And in Linda Hill's Sabian Oracle book, she talks about how this is related to love and performance art. And you can think also about like false displays of chivalry could be something, or propaganda is something she mentions about this. But you can think about, how can you bring more sensuality into your love story? The cherubal symbol is a fair woman leading a child by the hand and gathering flowers by the way. It's a degree of concord, and it denotes a person with a loving and agreeable nature. So this is really, do you have the perseverance and the patience to keep focused on what you want to bring into your life to bring more abundance, whether it is a love of a person or a career objectives or health objectives. Taurus is health and wealth. These are what the earth signs are concerned with. The Leo moon at 25 Leo, the tarot correspondence, is the Seven of Wands. And this is a card of defensiveness and courage and protecting yourself. And Mars in Leo is the astrology correspondence. The Sabian symbol is after a heavy storm, a rainbow appears. So this can be about, chaos and upheaval, but afterwards, there is always hope and opportunity. Now, having two cards with Mars and Saturn, emphasis is a little concerning with what's going on in Rafah. And Israel has their Mars in Leo pretty close to this degree. So this could be symbolic of a time when they're taking action. But we're going to hope for peace. We're going to hope for the ceasefire. The cherubal symbol is a thick wood at the back of a field in which a man is plowing with an ox. It's a degree of steadfastness. You can really feel the nature of persevering through difficulties. At this lunation, the Mercury will be at 29 degrees of Aries. Aries is a fire sign about conflict and war, Mercury thought processes and decision making. So watch out you may notice people in the collectives having harsh words. I think we're going to see the tensions continue to rise on college campuses. But what can you do to maintain your own internal calm and keep focused on the things that are important to you? Yeah, the 29th degree is a degree of crisis and decay. And it's really concerning if this offensive goes forward because some of the planning will have been done while Mercury was retrograde. And that can be symbolic of mistakes being made. And the concern is more people, innocent civilians being harmed or the hostages accidentally being harmed. The last thing I want to make you aware of is that Mercury will enter the sign of Taurus from May 15th through June 3rd. So right after the first quarter moon, Mercury enters Taurus. Thank goodness this Mercury in Aries transit was really difficult for a lot of people, with hard truths were brought up with the retrograde for many people. And it really stimulated impulsivity and irritation and whatnot. So hopefully this will bring some calmness and people's minds may turn to more practical manners. Taurus is a practical earth sign. It rules health and wealth. Slow down, patience, and perseverance are some things to be thinking about with Mercury and Taurus. People may just be having more kinder thoughts because Mercury now, instead of reporting into Mars, which is now in Aries, will be reporting into Venus. So this to me as well, maybe there is a chance for some reversal and peace to the ceasefire to get back on track. If you are embarking on a new journey, experiencing a major life event, feeling stuck, trying to make a difficult decision, or just looking to make positive changes, astrology can provide life-changing insights. There are several ways to work with me. You can come for a 30, 60, or 90-minute astrology consultation depending on your needs. Ask me a burning question and I'll record a video for you. Engage in longer-term cosmic success coaching where we work together on a 3-month basis to help you overcome blocks, improve your life satisfaction, build better relationships, accomplish your career goals, and understand yourself better using the tool of astrology. or mystic mentoring if you're an aspiring astrologer and want help with chart analysis techniques. Go to astrologybyceleste.com to check out my offerings. If you have any questions, you can email me at celeste@astrologybyceleste.com. On Sunday, the word of the day is lovely. And while I was preparing, songs just kept coming into my head. So you've got a word of the day and a song this week. I think it's because Neptune is at the 29th degree of Pisces, and we had that balsamic moon at the 29th degree of Pisces. So that may be why. But anyway, the song is Lovely Day by Bill Withers. So happy Mother's Day. This can be a beautiful day. The moon is in Cancer, where it's at home, sextile Venus in Taurus, where it's at home, and that happens just after midnight. So this is just beautiful energy to be loving, to have a nice meal, to, people may have had, some people may have had a wonderful Friday or Saturday night where they just really felt connected. Hopefully you enjoyed some sensuality. On Monday, the word of the day is dramatic, and the song is Son of a Preacher Man by Dusty Springfield. This is the day the Sun and Uranus meet at 23 Taurus. There can be surprises. The moon enters Leo at 3:35 a.m. Pacific time. Fixed fire. Can you be optimistic? You may notice people talking louder, dressing in more red, like doing things to bring attention to themselves. This is great energy for creating something. Now, Israel has a Leo stellium, so I'm a little concerned about this being when some kind of ground offensive happens, but we're hoping for peace. Venus in Taurus is sextile Saturn and Pisces, both at 17 degrees. As I said, this could be about making commitments, deciding to stop spending money on something, facing reality about your budget could be something that comes up. Part of the reason I'm concerned as well about what's going on in Israel and Gaza is because Benjamin Netanyahu has a Venus square Saturn in his chart. So the planetary pattern in the sky is matching his chart. So yeah, and Saturn controls, and Saturn can bring hardship. On Tuesday, the word of the day is loud. Mercury is wrapping up his transit through Aries. The song is, I got two songs on this day, Mary by Mary J. Blige. And that to me is just about being authentic. I'm just Mary. You can think that's the Sun Uranus energy. Uranus rules authenticity. I also got I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas. On Wednesday, the word of the day is show. Happy birthday to my dog, Debo. You may see little kids putting on a show. I wrote down the show me state. I think that's Oklahoma. Now, while I was preparing this, while I was writing my notes, it was last Monday, and then we woke up on Tuesday, and in Oklahoma, there was a tornado. So that might have been just like some kind of download about Oklahoma. So maybe there's nothing this week. But the word of the day is show. And it's Turned Down for What is the song by DJ Snake and Little John. This day can be very extra. Read all about it. With the moon in Leo, people can be very dramatic and wanting to make a show. There may be some news about college graduations, about demonstrations with the protesting. There's a first quarter moon at 25 Leo at 4:47 a.m. What actions are needed for you to attain long-term success is something you can be thinking about taking action on. And can you be confident that you have the ability to put in the work and the effort to get what you desire? Mercury will enter Taurus at 10:04 a.m. If people are talking, notice that they get quiet as it moves from fire to Aries to Earth Taurus. The moon will enter Virgo at 2:32 p.m. Pacific time. This is a mutable earth sign. Virgo brings order to chaos. It's a great time to clear the clutter. On Thursday, the word of the day is unfolding. Benny and the Jets by Elton John was the song that came to me with this. So what story is unfolding that began with the sun Uranus, we shall see. Typically with Virgo, I would think about actually folding your laundry. It's like Felix Unger energy with Virgo that wants to have things a certain way, that wants to organize things. So think about how you can get organized and prioritize the actions you want to take. On Friday, the word of the day is unearthing. State of Independence by Donna Summer is the song. I wrote down Dalai Lama. I have no idea why I wrote down Dalai Lama. Anyway, Mercury in Taurus is squaring Pluto at Pluto in Aquarius at 2 degrees of the respective signs. There could be some announcements about controls on things ending. Now, Pluto transits can be really healing, but they can also be a bit intense and affect a lot of people. So there may be some kind of a financial announcements. Like this to me could be a company announcing that they're making some layoffs or cost-cutting measures or things like that. On Saturday, the word of the day is dash. And I also wrote down sprint, like running fast. A woman breaks a speed record. You may see a dog with no leash on, skedaddle. These are the things I wrote down. The song is Dog Days Are Over by Florence and the Machine. This is the day that Venus meets Uranus at 23 Taurus. So there can be surprises and upheavals of a Venusian nature in terms of relationships. This is meet cute energy. You could be at the grocery store or the post office or wherever, and you just make eye contact with someone, a handsome or a beautiful stranger, and you have the courage to say hello, and your life changes in a moment. You could also go to an exciting party and have something amazing. Notice if you see women who look unique or unusual, or see things that are beautiful, but in a different kind of way with Uranus. Now, your partner may surprise you. Someone may be getting proposed to. It's probably going to be a really nice ring with Venus and Uranus being in Taurus. This is also the day the sun meets Jupiter at 28 Taurus. This is Jupiter Cazimi. Yeah, this weekend, this could be a lot of action this weekend. Yeah, because Jupiter topics. Think about what abundance do you want to bring into your life in the nature of health and wealth? What do you want to expand and grow? There will be a spotlight on some Jupiter type figures. We'll see what that is like. Royalty, leaders, celebrity. Something surprising. There could be really some surprising upheaval of a Venusian nature. I'll tell you what it is next week. And watch out for conflict, because the Mars is meeting the North Node, which is an amplifier, on Sunday, the 19th. I'll talk about that next week. But yeah, that could be a little intense. So, in order to keep your relationships healthy, try to think about how you can use the Venus and Taurus to negotiate, calm things down, rather than the Mars and Aries just ramp up the conflict with meeting the North Node. So that's it for this week's episode. Feel free to email me at celeste@astrologybyceleste.com with any astrology and action stories, or let me know how the daily things are playing out for you. Take care, and I'll catch you next week. Thank you for listening to Celestial Insights. To learn more about my work, please visit my website, astrologybyceleste.com, where I offer personal readings, horary consultations, cosmic coaching, group events, and classes to help guide people to higher levels of fulfillment. You can also find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook at Astrology by Celeste. If you enjoyed Celestial Insights, please help others find the show. Follow, rate it 5 stars, or write a nice review. I would so appreciate it. I'm astrologer, coach, and intuitive Celeste Brooks, and I'll be back next week.